Chandra, yesterday we were discussing some formula regarding to this Kanban calculations, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
This is the formula. That is NK is nothing but your number of Kanban. Let me elaborate. NK is equal to number of Kanban. That means, suppose for example, if I want to find out number of Kanbans which are required for the current demand, keeping the quantity per Kanban as a constant. Obviously, one parameter we can oscillate it, right?
Yeah.
NK is nothing but your number of Kanbans. If I want to find out the number of Kanbans, so depending upon replenishment lead time, how much time it takes for replenishing, whether it takes 1 day or 2 days, 1 hour or 2 hours, whatever it is. This is a replenishment lead time. RT comes for replenishment time basically.
Yeah.
And your AC is nothing but your average consumption for a given period. It can be for a day or whatever is the time that you take it up.
Yeah.
AC is nothing but your average consumption. All these parameters we have to define in the profile. Average consumption. Once average consumption is known, once the replenishment lead time is known, and CONT stands for quantity per Kanban. We are fixing it up the quantity and we are finding it of number of Kanbans, right Chandra?
Yeah.
Quantity of each Kanban. Then SF is nothing but your safety factor from the control cycle, and the default values is generally it will take it as a safety factor as 1 or 1.5. The more the safety factor, the number of Kanbans will be more as well. SF stands for safety factor. And your SB stands for supply source buffer. This also buffer, it can be, if you want to keep 1 or 1.2 or 1.5, some sort of a buffer, you can give some sort of a question here. SB stands for supply buffer. And C is once again a constant for the given control cycle. You can make it as a 0 or +1 or +2, whatever it is. C is also a bit of the constant. Generally, for the given default as a 0, so that we don't want to add any additional number of Kanbans. Default is equal to say 0. So this is the formula that the system will, based upon this formula, system will calculate my number of Kanbans. Number of Kanbans required if I keep the quantity, if I know the replenishment lead time, if I know the average consumption, and if I know quantity of each Kanban and how much is the safety factor that I am going to give it, whether it is 1, 1.2 or something like that, and how much is the supply buffer I am going to give it. Say for example, this is equal to 1 into 1 for example, or replenishment lead time is equal to say it takes for me, and average consumption is equal to say 100 pieces or 1000 pieces per day, and quantity per Kanban is, for example, just rough figures I am taking it up. My number of Kanbans is equal to my replenishment lead time is equal to say 1 day multiplied by, and average consumption per day is equal to say 1000 pieces. Then quantity per Kanban is equal to, then I will multiply 1 into 1000 divided by quantity per Kanban is equal to say 200 number of Kanbans. So that 200 pieces per Kanban I want to fix it up. Then this comes out to 1000 divided by 200, which is equal to 5 Kanbans, right Chandra? This 5 is going to be multiplied with some sort of a safety factor there. 5 into, suppose I want to give a safety cushion of 1.2 or something like that, safety factor. say 10% or 20% safety factor I want to give it, I can add that safety factor. For example, say then if I add 20% as a safety factor, then 5 into 1.2, which will become once again equal to, instead of 6 Kanbans, I am going to create 5 Kanbans. I am going to create it as a 6 Kanbans, right, Chandra? Similarly, this 1.2 multiplied by, suppose for example, even though I got 5 Kanbans as per calculation, multiplied by my safety factor of 1.2 multiplied by, once again if I multiply the safety factor of say again 20% or 1.1 or 1.2, then 1.2 say 1.2, that first 1.2 is my safety factor, second 1.2 is my basically buffer, supply buffer, 20% buffer I want to keep it. Then 1.2 into 1.2 is equal to is 1.44. 1.44 once again divided by 5, that is equal to say roughly say 7 plus or something like that it will come. Is that right, Chandra?
Yeah.
Is equal to 7.22 something like that. Or say it is a 7 Kanban. So the moment I change my consumption, average consumption, then all these changes will come into the picture, right, Chandra? The moment my demand has been increased from 1000 pieces to say 2000 pieces, or otherwise if I might have been put into the Excel, that will be more easy. No issue. You are able to understand this logic, Chandra?
Yeah.
In order to arrive my number of Kanbans, I am using this basic formula. Whatever I can't do it.
Time, yeah.
Let's we'll put into the Excel so that it will be useful for even next time also. Then somebody if I refer, then I can answer. This is my formula. Right, Chandra? NK is equal to this is it, and okay. What about my NK is equal to number of Kanban? Control this, and RT is nothing but my replenishment lead time. Okay, and AC is nothing but my average consumption, and quantity CONT is equal to quantity per Kanban. Okay, and safety factor is equal to say some safety factor I want to give it. Control this, and safety buffer, control C, control V, and C is nothing but the constant. Generally it is 0 or plus 1 or plus 2, something like that. Okay, in this, okay, let us assume such that number of Kanbans I want to derive. This is my question mark, right, Chandra? This I have to find it out. Number of Kanbans I have to find it out. Okay, my replenishment lead time I am taking it as 1 day, and my average consumption I am taking it as 1000 pieces per day. I'll put as 1000 pieces per day. Okay, and my quantity of the Kanban, each Kanban consists of 200 pieces per Kanban. I'm taking it as 2000 pieces per Kanban. Okay, just make it a figure. Okay, and my safety factor is equal to, I want to give 20% safety, so I will give 1.2. And say I want to give safety buffer of 1.2, yes, 1.2, and this constant I will make it as a 0. Now let us assume such that this is equal to, how I have to calculate this is equal to this into this divided by quantity per Kanban, right, Chandra? This multiplied by this into, I'll try to this one towards this side, multiplied by safety factor into supply buffer, then plus this one and I'll make it as whole of multiplied by this one. Okay, something wrong. 7.2. Okay, fine. You see, for example, anyhow, this is a numerical figure, so I cannot make it as a 7.2. I'll make it as a format set number as 0, 5. How this 7 is coming into the picture? Are you able to follow me, Chandra?
Yeah.
Just take a look at it. Now it is more clear. Let me make it. This is the formula that we are looking for. NK is nothing but number of Kanbans. How I am getting the number of Kanbans? Replenishment lead time into average consumption divided by quantity per Kanban, and for example, let me make it as pieces per Kanban. All this is multiplied by safety buffer and the safety supply buffer plus some constant. Okay. For example, my demand has been increased to 2000 per piece, 2000 pieces per day. The moment I increase this demand, automatically your number of Kanbans will get increased. Is that right, Chandra?
Yeah.
So, depending upon this demand, your number of Kanbans are getting triggered. The moment I change the number of consumption per day, then automatically your number of Kanbans is getting changed. Is that right, Chandra?
Yeah.
Similarly, the same formula, if I convert it to the other formula, is nothing but your instead of number of Kanbans, you want to fix it up the quantity per Kanban, CONT, quantity or CONT term. This CONT is nothing but how to get this CONT is if you want to calculate this one CONT, just convert this formula. This is equal to CONT is equal to, for example, if I want to get it to C, right? NK minus C, or I'll take it as RT into AC, RT into AC. It is simple logical expression, nothing great. I convert the same thing we can convert back to divided by NK minus C. Into SF into SB. How it is going to SF into SB. How it is going to be calculated? You see this. If I NK minus C will become this one, right, Chandra? I want to calculate this count, means if I will come towards this side, means RT into AC divided by this factor will come down, right?
Yeah.
Just it is basically the mathematical conversion, nothing great as it. This count, in order to convert this count, then I have to move this constant towards this side. So the moment it is going towards this side, then it is becoming NK minus C.
Yeah.
Number of constants minus followed minus C. C is nothing but your constant you are subtracting from NK minus C. NK minus C will become sorry. This one. Okay, no problem. And this NK minus C will come here. The moment it is NK minus C multiplied by these two terms, then I want to get a count, means RT AC divided by NK minus C and SF into FC. It's a simple conversion, nothing great. The moment how it will be like this is, the moment I am moving this towards this side, it will become NK minus C. It will become as NK minus C is equal to NK minus C is equal to this factor. Is equal to up to here. Right, Chandra?
Yeah.
The moment I want only count, then your count will become count is CONT is equal to CONT is equal to I'm moving this denominator towards this side, so this numerator will come as a denominator towards this side, right, Chandra?
Yeah.
Automatically the formula will become like this. Simple. Just conversion of numerator and denominator towards this side and towards that side. Here it will become NK minus C. Is that right?
Yeah.
It is just conversion, nothing great. That formula will become here. So if I want to calculate number of Kanbans, then this is the formula. If I want to calculate quantity of the Kanbans, this is the formula. My CONT is nothing but quantity per Kanban. That means here I am fixing up the number of Kanbans as a fixed quantity, but quantity per Kanban keeps changing as per the demand. Is this formula is clear to you, Chandra?
Yeah.
So one way of calculating either if you want to fix up the Kanbans keeping the number of quantity per Kanban as a fixed, we can calculate the number of Kanban. This is the formula option number 1. This is option number 2. There are 2 options available. If you choose the option number 1, system will keep changing the number of Kanban, and if you go for option number 2, then system keeps changing the quantity per Kanban. Number of Kanbans are fixed, whereas your quantity per Kanban keeps changing. That is the methodology that is used in the case of automatic calculation. This particular concept is used where you don't want to fix it up the number of Kanbans and the quantity of Kanban during the control cycle creation. If you are very clear, yes, I know this is the number of Kanbans and this is the quantity that I want to maintain, then you can define it at the control cycle creation itself. You won't go for automatic calculation. Is it clear, Chandra?
Yeah.
So based upon this, system will calculate how your number of either the number of Kanbans you can vary it, or quantity per Kanban you can vary it depending upon the requirement. Option number 1 and option number 2. Of course, for calculating this, it needs certain input parameters like replenishment lead time, average consumption, quantity per Kanban. Of course, this it depends. If it is a variable parameter, then we want to give it here. And safety factor, apply buffer, and the form. Is it okay, Chandra?
Yeah.
Any questions?
No. No.
Coming to our production.
What config port?
This automatic Kanban calculations are based upon this profile. In this profile, then the system will use that particular formula, Chandra. The profile can be different profiles with different factors. They can create that a different profile basically. For this plant 001 is one plant where you are giving the calculation type and calculation smoothening type and then profile. These factors are taken into consideration while you are calculating that particular formula. Did you had a chance to create any Kanban or anything, Chandra? Did you practice any some cycle or something like that on the Kanban part?
No.
No issue. Just are you are confident of the total cycle part of it, right, Chandra?
Yeah.
Do you have any questions to say?
No. No.
Okay, fine. Just let me. I'll just take it up one scenario, Chandra, so that it may be useful for you too. If I change this profile of this one, so that I will show it to you. Give me 1 minute. In the case of your replenishment strategies, in one of the replenishment strategies, Yesterday what we worked out is define the external procurement strategy. In this, the strategy number 002 for the plant 1000 with the strategy external procurement type 002, plant 1000. Go ahead. We created one schedule line and the option, suppose for example, I leave this option as a blank. Does this have any effect of it? Just I want to make sure that it will give the clarity. Actually had a small doubt in this. Let me clarify that also. Yesterday we created the Kanban for MD04. We have Kanban 4 or something, Kanban 6 or something like that. Okay, no problem. Okay, fine. And if I go for one more screen and there I'll look into the supply source demand. Supply source basically for this material. What is the status of the supply source? The status of the supply source is one Kanban is still empty. It is in the empty state. So I will go to the next status. I made some change in the configuration, small change in the configuration, Chandra, where I deleted the document type. I want to see the effect of that one. Does that have any effect or not? Here, I removed the order type, right, Chandra?
Yeah.
Earlier it was LPA, now I changed it to the blank. That means I didn't indicate any document type for this one. If I convert this Kanban to, oh, it's taking it up. No problem. By default, it is taking it up. Actually, I had a doubt, small doubt, but no problem. That means if you don't give it the standard document type, it will take it up even without mentioning the document type. That's what the significance here. I had a small doubt whether to be mentioned as a mandatory or not to be mentioned as mandatory. If it is a standard document type, it will pick it up, Chandra. If you have a custom document type, better mention the document type here.
Okay.
Okay. Now, we'll talk about the variant configuration, Chandra. Can we take it up variant, Chandra?
Yeah.
Kanban is, of course, the control cycle supply area concept, if it is clear, that is more than enough, Chandra.
Yeah.
It's not too complicated. Small changes, if anything is required, then and there, you can look into and then you can advise the people accordingly. It's not much complicated. Kanban is not so complicated or something like that. You are aware of the outlines of the Kanban concept of event-driven, classic Kanban, and automatic calculations of the Kanban event.
Yeah.
Coming to the variant configuration. Okay. As far as the variant configuration is concerned, today we'll talk about the theory part of it, some of the theory part of it. It may not be, for me it's not possible to just finish it up immediately. So just let me first give the basic overview on how it will be, what is the concept behind this variant configuration is. Whenever I have multiple options at multiple levels for a given product, then we will go for variant configuration, Chandra. For a given product, for example, if I take a car, I have multiple options at multiple levels. In the sense, starting from the basic model, for example, the moment I say I want to buy a car of so-and-so, which model car you want to buy it? Whether you want to go for, let us take an example of a Maruti. If I will go for Maruti WagonR, it has a different options like LXI, EXI, DXI. These are the different models available, right, Chandra?
Yeah.
The moment I say Maruti WagonR LXI, it has to pick it up the right engine, right transmission, right color, right wheels, and right optionals are the customer choices, right, Chandra?
So like there is the first option.
Yes. So, for example, the moment I say LXI, it has to pick up engine of 1600cc engine and the transmission of 4 gears, and it has to pick it up the steel wheels, for example. And of course, the color is once again choice, and there are some optional characteristics color is one choice, and there are some accessories like stereo, rear view mirror, remote lock, luggage support, or something cushions or something like that, right, Chandra?
Yeah.
So here one option that I am creating is based upon the model. I can fix it up automatically. The moment I say I want to go for a LXI model, system has to pick it up this engine, this transmission, this wheel, followed by what is the choice of the color, followed by the optional characteristics in this one. These are the mandatory characteristics. The mandatory characteristic in the sense, without engine, without transmission, without wheels, you cannot select a car, right, Chandra?
Yeah.
Okay. For a particular model, this is the engine already been freezed, this is the transmission, this is the freezed, this is the wheels to be used. Like that, this configuration has to work it. The moment I go for VXI, it has to pick it up the higher capacity engine, and the gear transmission is equal to 4-gear auto, and it is a light alloy wheel combination we are changing it. The moment it has to go for a DXI model, it has to take it to a much more bigger, higher engine, that is 2000 cc with 5-gear, and of course these are only the examples, Chandra.
Yeah, yeah.
And light alloy wheel or something like that, wheels are getting changed again. If I will go for a ZXI model, then engine is equal to 2500 cc, and the transmissions are 5-gear, and the wheels are light alloy, wide tire type. These are the different combinations available for each model, and I am having the 4 different models, Chandra. And the color options available, even for LXI model, I can go for red color or blue color or black color, right? Able to follow me, Chandra? First we select the model. Once I selected the model, then the system has pulled up this configuration, right? Okay. So you decided to go ahead with, say, for example, VXI model. That means the system has to pick it up this engine, this transmission, and this wheel.
Automatically, yeah.
Yeah, automatically. Right, you are right, Chandra. Because you are saying that I want to go for VXI model. The moment you decided VXI model, yes, then the system has to pick it up this combination. Now, system is to ask you for which color you want.
Okay.
The first thing is model you decided. Next thing is, do you want the red color car or blue color car or black color car, right, Chandra?
Yeah.
The moment you say the red color car, okay, color has been fixed. Now, so these are the, you have to fix up the model, you have to fix up the color. These are the 2 mandatory characteristics. There are some optional characteristics. What is meant by optional characteristics? Nothing but your accessories, basically. You may go for accessories, or you may not go for accessories. You can select one accessory, or you can select all the accessories, or you can select even nil accessories, right, Chandra? They are not the mandatory to buy a car, right? Accessories, you may go for stereo, or you may not go for stereo, or you may go for rear view mirror. These are all the options available, such that, okay, I have given 5 options of accessories. Option number 1 is equal to stereo, option number 2 is equal to rear view mirror, option number 3 is equal to remote lock, option number 4 is equal to luggage support, option number 5 is equal to, say, seat cushion. Is that right, Chandra?
Yeah.
These are the accessories which, in terms of the SAP terminology, those are optional characteristics. That means for buying a product, or for producing a product, or for figuring it out a production, you may choose or you may not choose, or it is at the discrete or the choice of the customer, basically, right? You can select, there is a chance for, okay, the customer may choose all the accessories. There is a chance only few he can select it, or even he can select it, I don't want any accessories, I want the base model of the car, right, Chandra?
Yeah.
Like that, these are the options available. So once you, is it clear at the base, actually under which circumstances we go for variant configuration, we are discussing, Chandra?
Yeah.
And in this, one condition, one SAP terminology, what we discussed is, there are certain characteristics which are mandatory, there are certain characteristics which are optional, right?
Okay, yeah.
We discussed about, in terms of the SAP terminology, if we'll talk about, there are certain characteristics, yes, definitely you have to make it out, then only I can figure it out a car. Unless if I don't know the model and I don't know the color, I cannot produce the car, right?
That's correct.
Okay, the moment you say the model and the color, then only I can go ahead with the production in that particular angle, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that is nothing but those are the mandatory characteristics. Mandatory characteristics are the model and the color. Okay, here. Okay, up to here, is it clear to you, Chandra?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. We are not been talking about the SAP terminology, we are understanding the business concept of it and what is the base utilization or base necessity to go for basic configuration. If it is not there, what will happen, Chandra? If it is not there, suppose if there is no variant configuration, say, that means every time you have to create a material master with a different combinations. Right, Chandra?
That's correct.
And for every material you have to create a BOM, routing, everything, because there will be thousands and thousands of combinations you can get it, right?
That's correct.
So in order to avoid that much of a huge master data maintenance and as well as the transaction data, and it may be a confusing to even to. In order to avoid that, SAP has been provided or come up with a variant configuration option which is very useful and user friendly, both at the user and as well as the sales and as well as the production side, right, Chandra?
Yeah.
Fine.
So
before going into this one once again SAP terminology, first of all, whenever you are implementing any variant configuration, figure it out one Excel sheet, Chandra. That is, this sheet will help you much better. What are the characteristics that you are looking for? Put out, just put into the Excel sheet. Characteristics I am looking for, one is the model, another is the engine, another is the transmission, another is the wheel, another is the color, and another are the accessories. Right, Chandra?
That's correct.
Okay, for the model characteristic, what are the characteristic values I can have? I can have LXI, I can have the VXI, I can have the these are the different options available, right?
Yeah.
Those options are nothing but your characteristic values. Similarly, the moment I say engine, what are the different engines that you have now, as of now? It is 1600 cc engine, 1800 cc engine, 2000. These are all the different materials or different options that are available for engine, right, Chandra? 1600 cc engine is the one material, right?
Yeah.
1800 cc is also one material, but okay, forget about the material for timing. I'm talking about the characteristic and the characteristic values. The moment I say engine, it can have any of the four values listed there, right?
Yeah.
Engine, the moment I say engine 1600, it can have the value of 1600 cc, but it can have only one value, of course. You cannot have the two values. This is the condition, one more condition, right? If for a single given car, it will have only one engine, either of four. Any one of the four options that are available, right, Chandra?
Yeah.
Similarly, the transmission, it can have one of the gears, either the 4-gear auto or 4-gear or 4-gear auto, 5-gear or 5-gear auto. Similarly, the wheels, that is the steel wheel, alloy wheel, and the other combination of alloy wheel with wide tire, right, Chandra? See, here all these things are single values. You can select one single value. How many values you can select it? Only one model you can select it. Of course, for a given combination. Of course, you can go for both LXI model as a separate one and VX, but in a single order, you are going to, let us talk about a single order case, Chandra. And is it an optional characteristic or a must characteristic? It is a mandatory characteristic, right, Chandra?
Yeah.
That means you have to select the model, and it is one of the model only you can select it. The moment you say one model, obviously this will select one single value and it is also a must, and it also selects one single value and it is also a must, and it also selects one wheel, set of wheels basically, and it is also a must characteristic, and it is also selects one color and it is also a must mandatory or a must characteristic.
Yeah.
Now, coming to the accessories, I have so many values in the accessories. I can have multiple values. Accessory number 1, accessory number 2, accessory number 3, and so on and so forth, right? I have a multiple options available. I can select all, one, or even none even two, right, Chandra?
Yeah.
So this table is illustrating only on the theoretical part of it. Still we have not yet been. Only thing is we are making whatever the discussion that made in the upper sheet of it, we made into the simple tabular form, right, Chandra?
Yeah.
Okay. Dependencies in the BOM and the dependencies in the class. BOM dependencies in the sense.
Where is that? Where is that?
Sorry,
Oh, dependent. Oh, yeah, got it. Yeah.
dependency in the BOM and a dependency in class level.
Uh-huh.
Dependency in the BOM in the sense, for example, if I select the 1600cc engine, my 4-gear this 4-gear auto is a combination with the 1600cc. This component is dependent upon this component and this basically it depends upon the model, right, Chandra?
Yeah.
Because we made a configuration, we are thinking about our configuration still in this way. The moment I select
dependency,
model,
okay, like, okay.
let us, my component is, the moment I say LXI, I should not pick it up 1800cc engine. This is the dependency, right, Chandra?
That's correct.
My BOM component, 1600cc engine, is a dependent component on the model that you have been selected at the front end, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is the dependency at the BOM level, right, Chandra?
Yeah.
And the dependency at the class or the model level is you can select any of the models. Out of that, you can select LXI, VXI, or DXI, or so and so, right?
Uh-huh.
And so that is what the dependencies are, the two levels we have to freeze it out. What is the dependency at this and what is the dependency at the class level?
Yeah.
Okay. After that, is this theory part of it still, it's only the very discussion only. Basically, I mean to say, before going to configure it, we have to discuss all the possible combinations, all the permutations, the combinations, and in which way we are going to configure this variant configuration basically.
Yeah.
If we are
Question
yeah.
here. What is the
Yes.
difference? We do variant configuration in PP and also in SD, right?
Chandra, could you please? Your voice is a bit low. Could you please?
We use variant configuration in SD as well as in PP.
Right, Chandra. This is, of course, here the point is, please complete your question.
So
Please.
both are same, right? Like in either a difference between SD variant and PP variant?
No, Chandra. It is a similar, but not exactly the same, but it is the concept is similar. Generally, at the sales order level you are freezing it, then that will become the SD part of it.
Okay.
At the production order level you are freezing it, that it will come to the PP part of it. But the concept is exactly the same.
Same. Okay.
While you are what we are talking about here is we are creating at the sales order level itself. That means basically at the SD level itself I am freezing it out how my product should look like.
Yeah.
I am the salesperson. I am talking to you. You are my customer. Mr. Chandra, you want to buy which model car? This is my first question.
Yeah.
Then you are asking me, okay, what are the models that you have available? I am explaining it to you. See, Chandra, I have the 4 models available: LXI, DXI, DXI, and ZXI. And the specification for each of the model is equal to like this, Chandra. That's what I explained to you, right?
Yeah.
So you are my customer, and I am the salesperson for Maruti. See, I explained to you the base models available, and each model what is the specification that is also available. I explained to you, and also explained to you, Chandra, I have 3 options for the color. I can supply you a red car or a white car or a black car. You can select any of the colors available as of now. Similarly, I told you that Mr. Chandra, I can provide you these are the different accessories that I have. Let me know which accessories that you want to select it. I am the sales guy.
Mm-hmm.
At the sales order level, I am taking your requirement.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right, Chandra?
Yeah.
So at the sales order level, I am freezing it up all the requirements, and the moment I say my sales order has been freezed, then it will translate to my production order with this specification.
Mm-hmm.
1 second. Sorry, just give me a minute. Sorry for the dispute.
No.
So you understood at which level we are freezing the BOM, we are freezing the configuration, Chandra. I mean, what I was explaining to you is we are freezing our final product at the sales order level.
That's correct.
The moment I say this is my sales order from Mr. Chandra, the same sales order once I will convert it to the production order. My production order should have these components which have been freezed out or discussed with you. Is that right?
That's correct.
Only thing is, you will go ahead with the assembly based upon the sales order based upon the configuration that we have been maintained, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it clear to you, Chandra, now?
No, very clear.
Okay, fine.
But this is very interesting, very popular.
Yeah. But it is a bit vast also, but I too don't have much of stuff. You have to excuse me some if I It is a bit vast, Chandra, actually. Actually, I had a very good presentation from my one of my Tier 3 person is Mr. Thomas Kubler is really so expert, Chandra. He is from Europe. And he gave a very good presentation, but I thought that I recorded. I thought that I have recorded this one. I'll go through that recorded session later. The moment I see open that one, it has been lost somewhere.
Oh, okay.
That while transferring the data from one system to another system, one laptop to another, somewhere I lost that data. Otherwise, he had really took a lot of pain and explained me very well, and I lost that, and that's really big loss. Actually, it took total 3 days, Chandra. I mean, not full days. I mean, 3 sessions basically, but he explained at a very greater length how it will work, like that.
Okay, right.
Anyhow, whatever I have a small knowledge, I'm sharing it with you. That is why I'm taking it as an excuse for that.
But even if we completely based on this, we can expand, right? Yeah.
Yes, Chandra.
Yeah.
Once, and of course, this is, SAP is always, you should know the basic concept and you have to practice it and then you have to figure it out the next step like that, Chandra.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So your question, did I address it to you, Chandra? So we are freezing it out of the sales order level. While I am creating a sales order, system will ask me all these options. The moment I say VA01 and then sales order will ask me first which is the model that you want to buy. Okay, model is equal to elected. The moment I say elected, then the system will pick it up the corresponding engine, corresponding transmission, corresponding wheel. Then the system will ask me which color you want. Okay, you want the red or it will give options that are available. That is red, green, black, whatever it is. Then it will ask what are the accessories that you want. Accessories, I can select any of the accessories. Depending upon that, I'll freeze my sales order. Is that okay, Chandra?
Yeah.
Once my sales order is freezed, automatically production guy, the input is the sales order, right? This sales order will be converted to the production order. He will go ahead with the same production, right?
That's correct.
Okay. So this table part is it clear to you, Chandra? So this is generally better when you are configuring the new formulate or tabulate into such a way that what are the characteristics and which are the parameters that whether it is a single value or multiple value, whether it is a mandatory characteristic or it is an optional characteristic, and what is the dependency at the BOM level and what is the dependency at the class level, you figure it out at this level on a tabular form before going into system.
Yeah.
Clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, whatever the characteristic values, these are all, even though it is a characteristic value, but in real terms, in the physical terminology, 1600 cc, 1800 cc, 2000 cc, all these are materials in fact, right, Chandra?
That is correct.
Gearbox is a 1600, engine is a, physically it's a material, right? Will you agree with me?
Yeah.
It's a 4-gear auto is a gear transmission is a gearbox is nothing but it's a physical material, right?
So we have to define all these materials.
Yes, exactly. That's what I mean to say. It just concluded the same thing. Exactly. Even though they are the characteristic defined as a characteristic, but those are the physical components in fact, right?
Yeah.
Steel wheel is one of the component. Red color, of course, this is the color, and stereo is one of the physical component. Remote lock is a component. Rear view mirror is a component or a material, right, Chandra?
Yeah.
We have to create the material master for all the things. And one more important factor for this variant configuration is there is a concept called as a super BOM and super routing, Chandra.
Super BOM and super routing. Okay.
A super BOM is nothing but a BOM which consists of all the options available.
Oh, okay.
That means the super BOM consists of all the models, all the accessories, everything. You are adding all the options available in that one. That is nothing but your super BOM.
Okay.
Similarly, the super routing concept is also the same. If you have a different options or different operations, you will add all the operations for the super routing, Chandra.
Yeah.
Okay, just let me start out some more this one. So before going, of course, I explained to you these are all the characteristics. Even though we are taking it as a characteristic, but those are the physical components. We'll come to the material master later. First, let me create the characteristics, Chandra. You remember we used some characteristic values and then classes somewhere in the quality or something like that, if I'm not wrong. We used this C code CT04. Remember, Chandra? CT04 is nothing but creation of the characteristics. So you have whatever the characteristics are there, these are all the characteristics. That is, model is one characteristic, engine is one characteristic, transmission is one characteristic, wheel is one characteristic, color is one characteristic. All the characteristics you have to define it, Chandra. So model is, I'm creating a characteristic called as model R. Before going to the system, I'm just explaining to you the theory part of it, Chandra.
Yeah.
Of course, I'll take you to the system first. Let me explain the theory part, then I'll take it. Today, first let me explain. Maybe today we may not be in a position to go to the system. Still, we are discussing on the theory part of it only.
So first we create characteristics and then materials.
Yes, that's what I mean. Yes, exactly.
Those materials to these characteristics are.
Right, exactly. We need to create all the characteristics. The characteristics, what we are taking it as, model is one of the characteristics, engine is one of the characteristics. Like that, I'm going to create a characteristic like with a transaction code CT04. CT04 is a transaction, we are aware of it. Already we used this transaction earlier. CT04. You remember, Chandra, we created one characteristic value, hardness or thickness, some characteristics we created, remember?
Yeah.
We created a characteristic.
Quality.
Yeah, right. That's what I meant to say. Exactly, you are right. What is that? Thickness or something? Thickness or other
thickness, yeah, thickness.
Maybe validity date or something like that. Somewhere, if I'm not wrong, we created this characteristic, Chandra.
Yeah.
With the same concept, basically why I was explaining to you is the transaction code is the same one which we have been used this one, and for creation of the characteristic we used the transaction code called as CT04. With this CT04 we used to create all the characteristics the same font as such. But I'm not sure whether why it is not showing it. Maybe it's because of some validity date.
Maybe validity date.
Right. Seems to be valid from or valid to date or something like that. Somewhere it is mistake. It's not a big problem. Let us. So first we create all the characteristics, Chandra. Characteristics for engine, characteristics for model, characteristics for transmission, characteristics for wheels, characteristics for color, characteristics for accessories even too. So once the characteristics are created, always the characteristics has to be assigned to the class, Chandra. Characteristics individually do not perform anything. You remember? Here also we assign these characteristics to some particular plan or something like that, right?
So class is nothing but like
Combination of characteristics.
but nothing in the spreadsheet, right? Just
Class, yeah, in the spreadsheet somewhere I mentioned as a Swift class or something like that, Chandra. Somewhere it is.
Okay.
A Swift class or something like that. And after the class only, you see this one, Chandra. Actually, this is cutting from Swift class or something like that.
Okay.
For this class, these are the characteristics.
Okay.
So we have to create a once before creating the class, you have to create. Of course, even after creating the class, after creating the class, also you can assign the characteristics. Before that is better create the characteristics first, then assign these characteristics to the class, Chandra.
Yeah.
So that readily your class will get ready. Creation of the class can be done with the help of the transaction CL02, and here this Swift class, whatever we created, we will add all these characteristics to that particular Swift class. So my Swift class consists of the characteristic called as model, characteristic called as engine, characteristic called as transmission, wheel, color, and accessories. These are the characteristics 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right?
Yeah.
These characteristics, which we discussed in the spreadsheet, I am adding to the class called as Swift class, which can be created with the help of the transaction CL02. And each characteristic is having, this is a class, this is a characteristic, and the characteristic values are this. Is it clear, Chandra?
So within characteristics, we will create these values.
Right. For the characteristics, see for example, I am coming to that one. For example, and let me take a characteristic called as model R. If I create a characteristic model R, for this model R, the values are LXI, VXI, ZXI, DXI, and D. These are the characteristic values, right, Chandra?
That's correct.
Okay. Let me create the characteristic with, in place of model R, I'll put it as a model C. Let me create one characteristic called as model underscore C. Can I take it like this, Chandra? Sorry. Or otherwise, Chandra, it's already 10. Can I take it up tomorrow if you don't mind, please?
Yeah, that is better. Yeah.
Okay. Anyhow, we have to parallelly build up the data in the system also. Tomorrow I'll take it up from here onward.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thanks, Chandra. Bye. Take care.
Bye.
The organ